We're back. I'm Marshmallow. I'm sitting here with Hitler. Say Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
And we're
Drunk on a weeknight.
Gentlemen, I'm sitting here drinking a whiskey concoction with a splash of ginger ale. Hitler, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I'm going to guess that mine's a little better than yours. It's a New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale, brewed and bottled by New Belgium Brewing, Fort Collins, Colorado, USA.
Not a paid advertisement, but I agree with you because what I'm drinking is fucking awful.
Yeah, well.
Hey, it's Mockuary!
Yeah, woo! Woo!
We're here sitting ready to mock draft, ready to break down what we're seeing here live for you here in the studio. So, I again am Marshmallow. I am drafting from the number 2 spot in a 12-team league. Hitler, where are you drafting?
I'm drafting from the 10 spot in the same draft.
So we're going to be on the opposite ends. You're going to get a little bit of a philosophy and theories from both sides. Break down some things we see in the mock draft. Guys, get in the mock draft lobby. Hit it up. See what you got. Our draft begins in 2 minutes. Josh, what do you think? Who do you think's going to go in the first round?
Who do I think?
Number 1 overall, Hitler.
My number 1 overall pick is Mike Trout.
Mike Trout. ESPN
over
agrees
Miggy.
with you.
Over Miggy. I just think his stolen base numbers give him the edge. And I actually think that I know ESPN agrees with me. I think right now CBS actually has Miguel Cabrera as the number 1 overall.
You think ESPN's got Miguel Cabrera?
No, CBS.
Oh, I see.
I don't know about some of the other fantasy profiles that you may be drafting on. I like Mike Trout. I like those stolen base numbers. I think his power numbers, they'll just keep going up. His runs scored might actually beat Miggy's this year, only because Cabrera's without Prince Fielder this year, and I'm not so sure that everyone has thought this through. So we'll see how it works out. Draft begins in just a little over 60 seconds. Well, and I'm pumped!
So, Hitler, when you're drafting number 1 overall, which I want to go ahead and say 1 out of 12 of our listeners is, what is your philosophy when drafting number 1? Are you trying to draft the best player overall? Or are you trying to draft the guy who's guaranteed top 12?
Yeah, no, I think when you're drafting number 1 overall, you want to draft the guy who's guaranteed that top 12 spot, only because you're looking for the sure thing in the first round.
Are you looking at positions at all at this point?
I really don't. I try and look at who's the best player available, whether it be pitcher, first base. I don't really give a shit, only because I want that guy who's going to give me the sure thing, and especially in a points league, you want to make sure you get that high score.
All right, then. So, again, your draft... Well, there, very nice, Hitler. So you're going 10. I got number 2. I'm hoping Mike Trout goes number 1.
Make it easier for you, right?
I hope Mike Trout goes number 1. Because the person who drafts Mike Trout...
That's not good.
Because it's Miguel Cabrera is my number 1 draft pick this year.
Well,
The guy's done it every year, constantly up in the big leagues. The guy is easy number 1. Oh, we got our first pick. Draft just started. Who was number 1?
Mockcast.
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, number 1 overall.
Take him. No problem. I'll take Miggy every day.
You think he's the sure top
Absolutely.
12 guy?
He's been sure for how long now? The guy is just consistent. Now, I'm not saying Mike Trout won't be as well. I'm just saying that Miguel Cabrera will easily be top 12 more than even so Mike Trout.
Okay.
I could be easily wrong.
Okay.
And you can't really get that wrong. Miguel Cabrera, I think, will finish higher than Mike Trout, but I'm not saying Mike Trout's going to finish that far lower. If you get the top 2 picks, I think you're sitting fine. So, who are you hoping falls to you at number 10 here, Hitler?
This may shock you, but I'm actually hoping that Clayton Kershaw falls all the way down to number 10.
Wow, you're going to go pitcher first round.
I would actually, at later on in this draft, I'd like to lock up my ace. I'd like to lock that pitcher up because I think him versus a couple of these other hitters that are available, I think he's just the better overall value.
Well, it's looking good for you right now. Right off the bat, Andrew McCutchen, Chris Davis, Paul Goldschmidt, Robinson Cano, and Carlos Gonzalez immediately off the board.
Yeah.
Still no
the original cargo.
Still no pitchers off the board yet, so it looks like your pick is starting to fall. Jacoby Ellsbury sitting here at number 7, eligible at pick 8. What do you think about Jacoby here at this point?
I do think that that New York could help us power numbers, but as far as actually being the better player over some of these guys, I'm not so sure I'd take him the first 2 rounds.
Wow, that's amazing. He did just go number 8 overall.
He went number 8. I'm not a fan of the value,
especially at outfield. I would assume.
Yeah.
All right, so we're still here. We're 1 pick away. Hitler, from your pick, we got Edwin Encarnacion and Clayton Kershaw and Adrian Beltre up on the board for here, according to ESPN's rankings. Again, like you said, you're hoping Clayton Kershaw, who, ironically enough, is projected to go number 10. And sure enough, Adam Jones goes number 9.
You know what? I don't know who this fella was that took Adam Jones, but I think that's a good pick. If you're not gonna go with a pitcher late in your first round, Adam Jones is a good guy to go with.
You think Adam Jones? Would you take Adam Jones over Jacoby?
I would.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go.
His power numbers are going to be there versus Jacoby's, and I just think Adam Jones is the overall better player. We've already talked about this. It's my turn to pick. I think Clayton Kershaw is the best.
Clayton Kershaw, first pitcher off the board. Now you don't think he's going to come down off his numbers from last year with Clayton Kershaw? You're that strongly on him in the first round.
Well, with anytime taking a pitcher, it's dangerous because pitchers tend to have a steeper drop off. We saw it in Justin Verlander last year. We saw it in players in the past, like a Matt Cain also last year. When you look at these pitchers, they are vulnerable. I got it. Hey,
that's a big word.
Hooked on phonics.
That's got a lot of letters.
But no, pitchers tend to have that steeper drop off when they do fail. But at this point, I think he was the best overall player for me, and I like his value there late in the first round.
All right, so here you're coming up on the wraparound. Any ideas who you're kind of targeting here? Now that you already got your first pitcher, any chance you take a pitcher here in the second round?
It depends, honestly. I don't think I take him on the wraparound here.
The next pitcher is Yu Darvish.
I really like Yu Darvish. I just don't think the value is there early in round 2. You could argue that he would be a better pick than Clayton Kershaw, just because I think a lot of projections might have his numbers a little lower than what they potentially could be.
So off the board after Kershaw went Encarnacion, Prince Fielder, Bryce Harper, and Adrian Beltre. What's next here? Sitting here for Hitler, Hanley Ramirez, Ryan Braun, Troy Tulowitzki.
I just answered your question for you.
Bam! Troy Tulowitzki, shortstop.
Tulo!
I think that might be the first shortstop off the board. Is that
also the first shortstop off the board?
So you went first pitcher, first shortstop.
Yep.
Taking some number ones, letting everyone else suck up the rest of the infield, huh?
Exactly, yeah.
All right. I can see that. Right after that, Joey Votto goes first base. I think overlooked a little bit. He's starting to fall in some of the listings I've seen.
He is. And you know what? For a lot of you listeners, you either do probably a Roto League or a Points League. Some of you guys who do the Sabermetrics League where they count on base percentage instead of average, Joey Votto is he's just a gem hiding for you. He's just waiting for you because all those walks, all those sneaky points that you can get, I would almost argue that Joey Votto, he's
What is he?
How about a can of wine?
Oh, you think he's that good, huh?
I think he's a can of wine just waiting to fall into your lap.
He's a piece of deliciousness all wrapped up in kind of bull crap. No one's really going to look twice about it. But when you're sipping on that thing is delicious when it hits your lips.
Yeah, whoever just got Votto in the early second round, I think they got a steal there at pick number 16.
All right, after Joey Votto, we got Hanley Ramirez, Evan Longoria, David Wright, Freddie Freeman, Giancarlo Stanton, that's surprising, and Jason Kipnis. Now back to me, myself, Marshmallow here, ready to draft at the end of the second round. I'm looking at Ryan Braun, Carlos Gomez and Yu Darvish.
I've got your answer. You know your answer. You know your answer. You have to.
And my answer easily is Yu Darvish.
That's the correct answer.
If I can get Yu Darvish at the end of the second round as my stud ace, all day, baby.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree with you only because he's a stud. Like, what is there not to agree about? Am I right?
Absolutely, 100%. That's why I just took him.
Yu Darvish.
Do you think Yu Darvish has any chance of being better than he was last year?
That's kind of a dumb question. The answer is yes.
Really?
Yes, of course he could be better.
Why so? He put up some excellent career numbers and franchise numbers for the Rangers. You think he can be even better?
His third season in the bigs? Yeah. He could be... I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Yu Darvish, top 3 in the Cy Young voting.
Top 3?
Top 3 in the AL Cy Young Award. I'm going to predict it right now.
Now, okay, but I just took him as like the second or even third pitcher taken. You think he's got something over that? I mean, top 3 is not that much better from someone who's already taken him 2 or 3 overall.
Well, like we talked about earlier with your first-round draft pick, you want the sure thing, and I think Yu Darvish out of his first few pitchers,
all right. So
arguably is the
after
most
Darvish went Ryan Braun, Yasiel Puig. Back to me now, early third round. Let me see here. I'm looking at who do I got available here, Hitler?
Well, you've got a couple guys. You got Carlos Gomez. You're running out of time. Dustin Pedroia. I like a few pitchers here. Ian Kinsler later on in the rankings. Shin-Soo Choo even later on.
And I went Carlos Gomez.
You went Cargo version 2.
I think they're at outfield. He's going to put up some monster numbers.
Yeah. That's a great pick.
What do you think?
Let me tell you, early third round.
That's how you patronize someone right there.
What?
Yeah.
Now, why do you hate my pick?
Cargo version 2 is just early third round. I just can't do it. I just don't see the value. Would you take him number 25, number 26 overall?
26 overall.
I just don't see it. You know, he's been your secret weapon in these past couple seasons because no one knows about him because he goes so late in these drafts.
It's true.
Now he's getting some publicity, he's getting some attention. Now everyone wants him in round 3, round 2. He's just any other player.
I'm trying not to outthink myself here. In the late second round, I'm going to take the best player available. I did think that was Cargo at this point.
No, you
taking him
picked
over the
right
likes
there.
of Buster Posey, Steven Strasburg, David Ortiz, way too high in my opinion, and Yadier Molina there at catcher at number 30.
Catcher streak, go get them while they're hot.
Well, I think after you lose Buster Posey there, I'm not surprised. I'm not sure why you would go then Molina there this early in the draft. Followed by Jay Bruce and Adam Wainwright. I do like the Adam Wainwright pick there.
There's a lot to say about Adam Wainwright. He's got the history there. He's the player overall that you see year in, year out.
Whoa, Shin-Soo Choo just comes off 33. Hitler,
Wow.
You're back up again.
Yeah, I'm back up. I really don't like that Shin-Soo Choo pick.
A little high?
Yeah, and I know enough about the Rangers. I know enough about Choo that I think some of his projections are inflated based on what they're thinking these lefties will do.
Whoa, 18 seconds. Pedroia, Desmond, Cliff Lee, Felix Hernandez. Any picks? Who do you like here? Or are you going to go even deeper?
You know what?
How much do you agree with ESPN? 8 seconds.
I'm going to go, this may shock you a little bit, actually.
Boom! David Price?
Yeah.
Explain yourself, sir.
Well, I'm looking at the guys next available, and I just...
You went all the way down to David Price.
I went all the way down to David Price. I'm not...
Where was he going? 33, 30, even later?
Yeah, he was about 35, I think.
And yet
I went ahead and took him just because I thought of my next 2 picks, I had a few guys in mind, and of the next 2 picks, I thought he was the most likely to go before my next pick.
Okay.
Anytime I'm in a position where I have the wraparound pick, I look to who's most likely to go. Wow, a couple guys just went off the board before my next pick. I'm not so sure I should have worried about who was going to go, but there you have it. That's how fantasy works.
Okay.
I've got a couple guys on my radar here, but it's really at this point I'm starting.
At this point, you got Pedroia off the board, Chris Sale, Pujols, 37. We discussed this in an earlier podcast. I think that's a little too low or high, or however way you look at it. Ian Desmond, you're down now to 10 seconds for your first picker in the 4th round, and you are going to go with Jose Bautista.
I like
Great
the
ass on him. Great ass!
Gotta love those glutes, man.
Guy works out. So you think Jose Bautista, another outfielder there in Toronto, you think he's going to do good enough for you in the 4th round this year? Thought he kind of had a down year last year, but
he did, and
but
that's
also
why I think
it seemed uncharacteristic at the same time.
Well, if you look at his career numbers, it wasn't necessarily uncharacteristic. He has gone into a power slide here as of the last couple of years. Jose Bautista had a little bit of a down year. I'm a believer in the bounce back. I think that I could pick up some value. He did go all the way down, hit 259 last year with 28 home runs, roughly 75 RBIs. Not crazy numbers, but I think if he puts a few more home runs on the board, a few more RBIs, I think as a 4th round draft pick, I think I got some value there.
Okay.
A few other guys were on my list at the time, but I couldn't pull the trigger. Cliff Lee still available. When is his drop off going to occur? You know, when are one of those strikeout numbers going to go down by 70? We just don't know.
Definitely a potential. Okay, coming off, who just came off the board there, Hitler?
A couple guys after I picked, we got Justin Upton, King Felix, and Eric Hosmer coming off of his stellar year bouncing back.
Oh, no!
Oh!
My diamond in the rough just went.
Oh!
My first baseman, my baby boy, my Alan Craig.
Ooh, that's not good.
That is not good. I love Alan Craig so late in these drafts. If I can snatch up Alan Craig late, I love him. 4th round I think is still a little too high for him, honestly. I think first baseman is going a little earlier than most people. I know that breaks general consensus, but I gotta go with him. Max Scherzer just went. Adrian Gonzalez, still 1 pick away. I'm looking at Cliff Lee, Alex Rios, and Jose Reyes. I don't know what to do here, Hitler. What do you think? I gotta say, with just gut feeling, my boy, Cliff Lee.
Okay.
I know it's a little stupid taking my second pitcher so early. Still so many position players available.
We both have
I'm going to bulk up. I'm going to take them, and I still got my wraparound. What do you think?
You got your wraparound pick.
I took the player that I didn't think I was going to get here coming up.
There's some sort of glitch going on with our mock draft system now because I don't have Alan Craig off the board as of yet.
That's interesting because I show him at 43.
You and I do not.
Are we in the same draft league?
We are in the same draft league because I have you here.
That is interesting.
That is very interesting. Who knew?
Regardless, ESPN is fucking terrible and no one should use it. All hail the
other fantasy websites.
Drunk on a Weeknight. We're gonna make our own goddamn.
We're gonna do
it once we sober up.
That.
All right, coming up next. Oh, it's my pick. Alex Rios, Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrus. What are your thoughts here, Hitler?
Well, I'm actually looking at it because you got to keep in mind when you have the early or late picks, you got to keep in mind it's going to be a while. So who's going to last throughout these next few picks? I think there's a few value picks here if you look a little deeper than those first 3.
Okay.
Hint, hint. But that's up to you because I'm not drafting your team.
No, what are your thoughts here? Help us out.
For listeners, Josh Donaldson, I think, could be very productive this year.
Bullshit. Moving on.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought you'd say.
All right, 5 seconds. Gonna go with my gut here. We're gonna throw it out. Elvis Andrus. The guy is a pure stud. He is a beautiful human being. He's great on the field. He's great off the field. And I dare anyone to argue me on that. Well, I guess no one's going to argue me on that.
It's just, I'm shocked, speechless.
Why? What's wrong with Elvis Andrus? Shore up that shortstop
nothing wrong,
position.
nothing wrong. I
Texas
just think,
Rangers. Pew, pew, pew.
there's one thing I'd be willing to say, and that's I think that J.J. Hardy can be taken at least 5 rounds later and put up the same numbers as Elvis Andrews.
J.J. Hardy has got the name of everyone's fucking 5-year-old cousin. J.J. Hardy should be running a lemonade stand, not playing shortstop in the Major League Baseball.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm willing to put my wallet against.
I say Elvis Andrews outscores J.J. Hardy.
I say J.J. Hardy outscores Elvis Andrews.
Let it ride, please.
You heard it, folks. Elvis Andrews all day. If you side with Marshmallow in this one, follow my advice, people.
J.J. Hardy, 5 rounds later. Go for that value.
Team Fouts coming up on the board there. Also known as Hitler. He's got, let's see here. You got Ian Kinsler, Brandon Phillips, and Zach Greinke. Any of those guys strike your fancy?
I'm a little shocked at this
point. Are you still taking the best overall player? At what point do you start looking at positions?
I'm still going with best overall player now, only because I can't help myself, and I keep looking. Ian Kinsler, fellas, he's fallen all the way. It's the 57th pick. Ian Kinsler is rated right around 32 in the pre-draft rankings. Wow. Ian Kinsler typically like a first, like a top 3 round pick in the last couple seasons. He could be falling now. I think he's about to be taken. Let's see. How am I on? Why was I on auto pick?
Yeah, it was your pick. I know.
Didn't show that on my screen.
I don't think it was. For some, everyone, we've got technical difficulties here in the booth. Please stand by.
Well, let me just put it this way.
Technical difficulties. All right, we're back. I think we shored up. We fired some interns, and we crossed some wires, and I think we're back on speed here. I think Hitler's back off auto pick. Hitler, who did you just take because you love so much?
Ian Kinsler, gotta love it.
You love it. You took the guy you probably were going to take anyway. Bank air in your favor on this one.
Yeah. No, I can't argue against it. As a 5th rounder, I think as a second baseman, he's a... Why does it say he's waiting on me to
Amazing. Zach Greinke, Aranis Ramirez, Matt Cain, and Aroldis Chapman. Relief pitcher coming off there pretty early, and not even the number 1 guy.
And I'm going to show you a little something you haven't seen before. Bada bing, bada boom.
And I think we're back up to Hitler now. Well, he's got 17 seconds left.
I tried to draft just a second ago, actually.
Interesting. No one buy a MacBook. MacBooks are the worst thing ever. Luckily, no one's going to hear this because we're going to delete this podcast the minute we're done with it. Jesus Christ. And
didn't even draft me a player.
And you didn't draft. Who did you end up getting?
I ended up getting Kenley Jansen.
Are you happy with that?
No.
Very, very unhappy.
I wanted my can of wine.
Atlanta, correct?
Atlanta? Kenley Jansen is an LA Dodger.
I said Atlanta, but I'm thinking of the Atlanta Dodgers of 1849. I apologize, people. I'm a little bit of an old soul there. I believe I lived a life there as a 49er. Coming up, Team Marshmallow. 5 picks available coming up here soon. Starting to kind of figuring out what positions I want to target.
What's your
next.
team identity, Marshmallow?
Well, that's the difficult part. I've already got 2 starting pitchers who I think are ultimate studs. I have 1 outfielder and a third baseman and a shortstop. Now, at this point,
you're all over the place.
Exactly. I've already missed out on the big run of first baseman. I've already missed out on some of the number 1 catchers. Where do I go ahead and come up? Justin Verlander, ultimate late guy. I feel like Justin Verlander at this point can only do better than he did last year. I think that guy is a...
Birds of War.
Absolutely. That guy is going to come back super strong.
Bird of War.
I love Justin Verlander. It is my pick. I got the choice of Johannes Cespedes. Is that correct? Cespedes, Verlander, Joe Mauer, Anibal Sanchez. Yes.
Yep.
At this point, I got only 3 actual batters, but I'm going to shore up my pitching staff, grab me ultimate studs, give me some awesome points all week long. Justin Verlander is my number 3 pitcher. Can you believe it, folks? Coming up on the wraparound, we got 2 picks coming up from a one Mr. Team Powers. What a stupid-ass name. Team Powers, go fuck yourself. Let's see here. I'm looking at a catcher possibly in Joe Mauer. I could even shore up my pitcher staff even more with Anibal Sanchez. Probably going to pass on that. Greg Holland at a relief pitcher. Starling Marte, Kyle Seager, Mike Minor, Matt Kemp, Homer Bailey. Starting to get a little rough. Carlos Santana at 77 here. Catcher, first baseman, designated hitter. I likes that. However, I do feel like I'm overdrafting him a bit, but I may have to, the fact that I just went 3 pitchers in a row. So let's see here what Team Powers does. Hitler, how's your bladder?
Better now, that's for sure.
Excellent. Hitler coming back in after my long rant that no one gave 2 fucking shits about.
Yeah.
All right. Team Powers, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second.
Fuck that. You know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears?
When people go into a mock draft, they go into the first 5 rounds and they leave. What is the purpose of that?
Those people?
You're so stupid.
What are they doing? I mean, you're just wasting your time and ours.
Wasting your time because guess what? The first couple rounds are going to be predictable as shit anyways, so you might as well just skip the mock draft. Stop wasting my time because I'd much rather have the opportunity to draft with people who actually give a shit. That said, Team Marshmallow.
Joe Mauer.
Mauer power,
Team
baby.
Steroids, baby. Inject that shit straight into my dick. Make that shit grow. Because I fucking need it.
I think you might be getting Joe Mauer mixed up again with Ryan Braun.
I never do. Joe Mauer is a piece of shit. Joe Mauer lied. Lied, I tell you, to Aaron Rodgers. Lied to the people. Lied to everyone. Joe Mauer is a piece of shit. And I know that for a motherfucking fact.
Yeah.
Put me on the witness stand. Joe Mauer is horrible. He's a terrible human being. But he's part of Team Marshmallow.
He's part of Team Marshmallow, and you're still confused because that was still definitely Ryan Braun.
Nope. I will never take that back because Marshmallow was never wrong. Marshmallow is always delicious and 100% right. Coming up, hey, Lord. At this point, we're in late 7th round. At what point do you start reaching deep for some of them hidden gems? Or are you still trying to fill out your starting roster? We do have a long ways to go still. Curious of what your philosophy is then when you want to start snagging some of those guys that you like more than everybody else. At what point do you stop fucking around and start grabbing those guys to make sure you get them?
I think the easy answer is round 10.
All right, end of story. Excellent. Go ahead, Hitler.
Well, I just think the point being that you can fill out most of your starting roster before you start digging for those sleepers. Anytime you start digging for sleepers before round 10, you're defeating the purpose of the term sleeper. Sleeper should be a late round gem. Okay? You don't want to reach too early. Anytime you reach too early, you're defeating the purpose. You're ruining the entire point. It's stupid to go for them early. People do it every year. People did it with Shelby Miller last year. You got some value out of him, but the fact of the matter is you could have got more by waiting later. It's just
so
dumb.
You're saying that some of these sleepers you think can, if you overreach, it's almost like it's this particular feline inside a particular physical structure. How would you describe that?
You know what? That's really hard to put into words.
Cat in the wall, eh? my language. I know this game. All right.
So, a cat in the wall is a late round sleeper that you overdraft, completely ruining their entire purpose. Team Falcons, you're up again. Hitler, what are you going to go with? That is the worst Carlos Santana impression I have ever heard. Rob Thomas is a better musician than you, and that is fucking terrible.
Hey, I am a fan of Matchbox 20. You don't push on Rob Thomas while you're around me.
I see what you did there.
Did you?
I caught you. All right, coming back around. I saw a lot of right fielders. Some Annabelle Sanchez, Gio Gonzalez, Beltran, Hayward, Homer Bailey, Matt Kemp. Man, 80 at Matt Kemp. That's some value, I think, there.
Well,
Starling Marte, Carlos Santana, Greg Holland. Matt Kemp this late. What are your thoughts?
Matt Kemp this late, good, but not great.
No.
I think there was an injury report that came out today, sort of knocked him a little bit.
Just in here in the Drunk on a Weeknight headquarters. We got a Matt Kemp update. Hitler hit us.
Kemp's hurt?
Hitler on the move, moving to North Russia. Says, fuck winter clothes. We're all good. We got this. Russia's full of a bunch of pussies. We got this one. Back to you.
Wow, a lot of pitchers on the board at this point. You want to run through this while I'm trying to make my next pick?
Well, we got James Shields, Jason Worth, Matt Latos. We want to go some more pitchers. You got Jordan Zimmerman, Jared Weaver, and all coming up super late here. I know, Hitler, you're hurting a little, and you done fucked up again, Hitler! You done fucked up again! I believe you took James Shields, if I'm not correct? Is that what you got? You were looking at a pitcher, you could do worse than James Shields. Is that the pitcher you were looking at?
There were several pitchers I was looking at. James Shields put up some good numbers last year.
But
not the pick I was trying to go for. You listeners at home, I was actually trying to reach for
James
Jason
Shields. This is the city of angels, and he ain't gotten wings.
Not sure what you mean by that.
He's just gonna he's flying, but now he's no longer and he's gonna and suck.
So he's not a demon then?
No, he's not a fallen angel, mind you. He's merely just no longer an angel. He's merely immortal. We're going straight Constantine rules on this.
So he's like me. Like a worse looking me.
Yes, you do. You are pure white with golden hair that almost like a halo. And as you ascended to Earth, you are still mortal, and yet somehow you reek of heaven's purity. Coming up,
I think what you're smelling with that heaven's purity
Alex
is actually
Gordon,
sweat.
Anthony Rizzo, Aaron Hill, Dominic Brown, Jason Worth, Everett Cabrera, and Josh Hamilton.
Somebody didn't get the update.
That's not good. That dude's got a fucking cast on him.
We got an injury update in the
25
office.
seconds on Team Marshmallow. Holy shit, I love pitchers so goddamn much.
They're
so pretty.
There's so many.
They're so pretty.
They're all up there.
I can't do this late, this so early, can I? Let's see here.
Just do it.
I don't want Matt Latos. I already got a catcher, so Jordan Zimmerman.
Oh, wow.
Boom!
Wow.
Did I done fuck up?
I don't agree because I actually like Matt Latos over Jordan Zimmerman. Yeah, and Tanaka, people don't be afraid to draft him, but don't draft him over the known. There's too many unknowns out there. If you can get a Matt Latos who's been the sure thing, a Jordan Zimmerman who's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but he still put up some good numbers last year. I wouldn't take Tanaka over either one of those guys. Not saying he couldn't perform better, but I am saying that Team Marshmallow should make a pick.
Desmond Jennings, Tampa Bay. Welcome to Team Marshmallow, my second outfielder.
Only your second so far. Wow.
I went 4 pitchers early.
Yeah,
Little pitcher heavy over here in Team Marshmallow.
We're actually in the same exact boat.
I didn't even notice, Team Fouts. You've got 4 pitchers as well, Hitler?
Team Hitler has 4 pitchers as well.
Clayton Kershaw, David Price, Kenley Jansen, and James Shields. That's a lot of mock drafting auto draft that helped that out.
You are taking me drunk on a weeknight name to new levels.
It's best.
It's a mock cast, people.
Mock cast.
It's a historical day.
Coming up on Team Hitler, you're 3 picks away. Any guys you hope falls to you? Who is your pick right now? Jared Weaver, Shelby Miller, Hishushwami Ukuyama, Chris Medlin, Doug Fister, Garrett Cole. Any of those guys strike your fancy? Hope falls to you at this point, late 9th round.
Well, I'm really not looking for pitchers at this point. And all those guys you just listed are nearly entirely pitchers. I'm hoping that around these rounds that some of these other fools drafting go for those pitchers that I don't need at this point, and I can just start scooping up position players.
Okay, I understand.
I do like the position players this late. A couple I've got my eye on. I like Pedro Alvarez.
Pittsburgh, huh?
I do. And I also like Michael Kadire. He's, the sure thing out there in right field. Gotta love it in Colorado.
Okay.
Gonna put up at least 20 home runs. And then you've got Pedro, who's gonna put up 30 plus.
Michael Kadire breathing in that pure Rocky Mountain air, laced with
bit
the
of weed.
highest of THC levels.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of weed up there right now.
That's what I hear. All right, Team Hitler, coming back up. You took your Pedro Alvarez with
I did.
Shelby Miller, Ishuhami Hakama, Chris Medlin, Doug Fister. Like you said, big run on pitchers.
Yep.
You were already solid there. You think you're going to go position. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm
28 seconds.
I'm going Michael Kadire.
Holy shit, only 25 seconds.
They really cut his
oh my god, 21 seconds.
Hit 330 last year with 20 home runs.
Only 17 seconds left.
His numbers could go up in the home runs, but down in average.
12.
I'm thinking that he's going to hit about
10.
300 with about 20 home runs. My guess.
8. And beep. Cudyer. You called it.
Cudyer. Yeah.
Cudyer.
I think it's actually Kadire.
Cudyer.
I mean that's what the what the experts say.
Cudyer. Well,
Cudyer.
No one ever once thought we were an expert.
Also true.
Coming up on Team Marshmallow, here we go. Late 10th round. Full on pitchers, going straight infielders here. Might go an outfielder if I absolutely have to, but at this point, might need to start filling some of those guys out. Let's see here. We're looking for a Brett Lowry, a Martin Prado, who's got multiple position eligibility. And you know how I like them multiple positioning.
No kidding.
I like to put them in all sorts of positions.
Shocker.
Brandon Moss, late first baseman. Here, Mike Napoli, way late Boston first baseman. Team Marshmallow really hurting on some of these first basemen that are already off the board. Kind of maybe screwed myself here, Hitler.
You may have, yeah.
Let's see how many first base. Wow, that is a lot of first basemen off the board. Where Team Marshmallow has not drafted a single one yet. Just to grab a starter, I'm stuck with Napoli, Moss, or wait even longer. I don't feel like I can wait any longer, and this seems stupid, but I'm going to go ahead and take Napoli just to play it safe. I know. I'm not happy with it either. I done fucked up, apparently.
Oh man, yeah, you did. There's a couple guys out there. Son of a bitch, one of them just went. I was laughing because I thought I had you. I thought I could go in and pick up a better first baseman.
But
now I'm a little pissed at myself. Not gonna let it get to me though, because I think I see some diamonds in the rough. But you know what I just pulled up, just out of pure curiosity. I am looking at some pictures, courtesy of Google, of J.J. Hardy's girlfriend. And let me tell you, I'd let her carry my bat around, if you know what I mean.
And I think I do.
Yeah, wow. I mean, props goes to this guy. He's up on our list right now. He's projected to go in the next couple picks. Woo. Man.
Why does J.J. Hardy look exactly like Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
That
A
is
fine
a-
show on FX Wednesday nights at 9 p.m.
That it's a little curious. And wow, yeah, very nearly identical. And man, she is smoking hot.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Boner alert.
yeah.
All right.
Back to mock
Whoa, we're
draft.
talking
Wow.
about baseball here.
Sorry, fellas.
All right, we're about to sign off. We're almost here at the 11th round. You're gonna, if you want some late round, 21st round guys, go ahead and listen to another podcast because Jesus Christ, you've been bored enough as it is. Finishing out, Team Hitler. Who is your final pick for the 11th round?
Final pick for the 11th round.
Final pick.
Well, like I talked about earlier, this is where I start to like to dig deep and maybe find those sleepers.
Your number one guy.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions at this point, though. But at this point, I think I'm actually gonna see who falls to me. I do have the wraparound in round 12.
Who you hoping?
Who I'm hoping, actually, I believe just got picked.
God damn it, Brian McCann.
Oh no, there's actually a couple other guys in there.
Okay, well then put. JJ, oh my God, it's your turn. Oh my time. 40 seconds. Beep, MacGruber this shit. 40 seconds, MacGruber.
Let's see, yeah. Oh, there he is. Sorry, lost track of him there for a second.
Glenn Perkins.
You ready for him? Yeah, Glenn Perkins.
I love that guy.
Pitcher Park.
Excellent.
Not a great team up there in Minnesota.
However, put up some great numbers late last year.
Yeah,
I think
sure
you're
did.
reaching a little bit in the 11th round as your starting relief pitcher for Glenn Perkins.
Depend-
However, probably not going to fuck you over.
Probably not going to. And based on what I was looking at there, didn't really like what I saw. An R.A. Dickey available, but not sure I like that. Jeff Samardzija definitely got some upside there. If the Cubs can manage to win a couple games, he might be okay. And that's the reason why I'm going to take him here in the 12th. But man, oh man, I really don't like it when all these lower tiered pitchers are available. And
I
that's
hear you there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's part one of our riveting fantasy baseball mock draft Extrazapalooza rocks your airwaves. If you want to listen to part two, die in some horrible death while committing sin, so you go to hell.
Probably not worth
because
it.
that shit will be rocking on a loop in hell.
Yeah.
That shit will never see the light of day. But for part one, thanks for joining us. Again, I'm Marshmallow. Say bye, Hitler.
Bye, Hitler.
And go fuck yourself!